Shaun, has the international break given us a bit of a chance to, I suppose, reset a little bit, freshen up and go again this week?
Yeah, it has. It's just given us more time on the training pitch, really. Really good that obviously some of our players have been with their national teams or their under-21 teams. So everyone was back today, but yeah, it gave us time that we needed to improve certain areas, and hopefully that is apparent on Saturday.
Great to be back at home too as well.
Yeah, no, like it's great to compete again. The games are the best part. But yeah, really, I want our home form to be strong. It was strong last year, even in a really difficult time. So yeah, no better time to bounce back from that Barnsley home defeat than tomorrow.
Are you expecting Cambridge to come here and try and frustrate us?
No, they'll do both. They'll try and attack us. How they do that, they've got different ways to do it. They could try and high press us. They could try and set off. I think that's one of the things I'm learning now with both. When we analyse teams like we did with Barnsley, Blackpool as well, some really big clubs in our division, I expected them to be really aggressive, press us high, and they did the opposite. So it's basically just trying to have or just be aware of what both teams or what the team can do in terms of both styles, and then doing what we can do to combat that. So yeah, Blackpool. Yeah, we really expected them to come press aggressive. It became the opposite really for a large part of the game, and we had a lot of the ball. But again, when we have the ball that much, we still want to be aggressive, and we have to defend the long ball.
How's the squad shaping up? Of those international lads come back in good shape?
Yeah, everyone's fine. So Liam made a pretty quick recovery from the Blackpool game. Yeah, everyone's fine. So I think what I'm seeing now is we've got a proper squad. So now when we're training, it's the level of training I've noticed in the last few days is changed. Sometimes we've had to use a lot of academy players in training throughout pre-season, and it's actually helped them a lot. But now we have players that are really fighting for a position. So everything we do in training now, it's competitive, and it has to be if you want to get a place in the team. If you want to keep it, then whatever you do on the pitch what you do on the pitch will make that decision.
It's great for all lads, but especially so with Sam being called up for England and Babu Ireland as well. And did you get a chance to watch Babu play both games? Did you get a chance to watch much of Babu and the rest of the lads?
No, I've not seen loads. I've seen clips really. I watched the clips of the players, the individual stuff. So yeah, speaking to Baba, really positive last 10 days or so for him. Played very well in that sixth position again. So it's a huge step forward for him. But now he's back, he has to continue the level of performance he's had, still improve on certain areas. But yeah, really happy for him. And Sam, that's a huge step for him to take with England 31s. And again, the same for him. He has to now come back, produce the same level of performance. And then each day at training look to get that bit better, because there isn't too many goalkeepers at his age that I think are at a higher level.
Does the fact that Baba and a couple of lads playing a couple of games this week, does that impact on your thinking around the team for Saturday in your selection?
No, not in terms of a negative, in terms of leaving people out. No, the opposite. There's even watching Jordan Jones's clips against Kazakhstan. It's just really positive that he had he came on against Barnsley. He's had such a difficult time here for 19 months. So for him to get minutes back with the national team was really good. Jordan, I think, will be a steady progress to get the best of him. Josh, I was really happy with getting minutes again. So now Charlie White's been fantastic, but now Josh is really, really pushing to start. So no, all these internationals I don't see a negative at all about our players being with their national teams.
Tello has got Johnny Smith, got some minutes. The 21s of Johnny, are those both close to starting or being involved at the weekend?
Yeah, both are fighting. Yeah, to be in the starting team. Tello had a decision really in the last game against Blackpool. He was really, really tight, but with the type of injury in terms of the dislocating shoulder, I felt the risk was too big. But now he's good to go. So I'll make that decision tomorrow. I'll give them the whole squad another session to try and earn their place. But Tello's physically fine.
And the three latest signings, Omar, Stephen and Marshall, how close is Stephen? I know he didn't have a pre-season, so you made the point that he's got a little bit more work to do, but is Marshall and Omar got a chance?
Yeah, both Marshall and Omar have got a chance of being involved this weekend. Stephen's still a couple of weeks off. I think, he's just had no... when he joined us, that was the first time he'd had any sort of team training or conditioning with a club, so I need to be fair on him. Although I would desperately like him to be available for us, I'll still stick to the plan of the next 2-3 weeks with Stephen. But Omar and Marshall are fighting for a spot. I think it makes my job harder in terms of making that decision, but in terms of over the course, if you look at us now between the next international break, there's a lot of games, and every one of our squad will play in games. And then, as I said, what you do in training and what you do in the game will determine how often you play. We've got a really good group. I really like the camaraderie between our players. Now I want to see a real competitiveness in training, and we take that into a game.
Talk about the games coming thick and fast now. Do you have your team in mind, obviously, for Saturday, but for Tuesday, Leicester as well, or do you just focus on Saturday?
Just focus on Saturday just now. I just try and win each game as it comes, and then come Sunday, post Cambridge, we'll get onto Leicester. But first one is Cambridge. Cambridge are a good side. I watched them play Reading, very comfortable without the ball, real big threat on the counter attack, very good set plays. If you give them time, they'll play. So what I need to see from my team is the same level that we have in possession out. If we can do that, then we're a good team. If we don't, like we did in moments against Blackpool, then we get hurt. But I think you'll see that over the next weeks, months, with what the club's been through, where the squad's been at. I hope by the time we get to Christmas, January, we look at that table. We're really pushing for that top half, and I hope that the team has really progressed. And until then, I'll be fighting every day to make that happen.